Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are checking out, and I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, but a Captain Sim airplane. And no, this is not the C-130 that came out a little over a year ago of the C-130 Hercules. That's an exterior model only, no interior. But this time, he just recently released a full-on interior modeling of this aircraft, a brand new aircraft, essentially. The plane is $40, 40 US dollars. It's not on the marketplace as of yet, from what I can tell. But it is for anyone that has PC. It is available on his on Captain Sim's website. That's where I got it. So yeah, I mean, I have to say, I'm actually kind of like surprised. The quality, this actually is pretty decent quality. He put some good effort into this. I have sat in the cockpit of a C-130, and this is pretty good. Is far better than I expected. Like this is your in quotes, your tablet, your clipboard that has everything. Like your ramp that you can drop down. Now there aren't, like this right here, the dropping of the ramp. There is no hydraulic sounds like I would hope there would have been. But at this point, it's just a little nitpicky on the audio. I believe the engine sounds are not of a C-130 Hercules. It is of a King Air, or I think that's the plane that he modeled off of. But I will admit, the sound of the props are kind of close to what a C-130 would sound like. I've flown in a few of them. I've flown in actually one from Mansfield Lahm Airport to just outside of Des Moines, Iowa. I believe it was Des Moines, Iowa. I was heading to Camp Dodge. Where's the Fort Dodge? I think it's Camp Dodge in Iowa. Oh yeah, you have all of these interactions, the cowlings, openings. So you have all of the engines data. So I would use FS Realistic to get first-person view of this stuff. But FS Realistic does not work with this plane. As soon as I went first-person, the entire modeling of the plane disappeared. It was almost not even, you couldn't see anything. So I am not going to use that. We're just going to use the old traditional way. We're just going to dumb down our speed of the drone, and we're going to come down to airplane level. Gotta remember all my key binds. There we go. No. There we go. So yeah, I mean, the modeling isn't bad. Texturing isn't horrible at a distance. Get close. So I will say this: the engine. I love the modeling that he did with the engines. It's not just a little like clip art like image that he threw in the engine bay. These are actually 3D modeled. I want to say that Captain Sim is maybe turning over a new leaf. That's my thoughts. So let's go up. Look at the exhaust. That's actually pretty cool. He did a lot of good work with this thing. Let's see. There is other things you can look at. You can open up as well. So we're gonna go back to the cockpit real fast. Radar dome on. You can open your pilot windows and your co-pilot window. Only problem is I don't like is that when the windows open, the audio on the outside to the inside do not change. It's a little disappointing. We're just gonna open everything up. There's a lot of things to open. You can get a flag. So we're just going to open everything up and come back outside. And there we are. So, yeah. So you see this is the C-130 from the Alaskan Air National Guard. They also put it's always been a tradition to wave the flag. Like if you go to any air show, you'll have a person that will open up the top hatch and put a flag at the top at the air shows. It's pretty common nowadays. Last year for the Cleveland Air National Show during Labor Day, they did that because it was the Mansfield Lom Airport Air National Guard unit there that did that. But yeah, you see the nose where the radar, it opens up so you can see it moving. The pitot covers, which flap in the wing, but I actually really like that little detail there. You have a little toolbox or air oxygen connector down there. Actually, the oxygen connector's on that side, right on that bottom left. Little tool, your entrance into the aircraft. All engines open up so you can see all the good renderings. So the wheels down here, those lift higher. So if you want to maintenance the wheels, you can lift up those covers even higher. Your toolbox doors, you have both the paratrooper doors open, and then you have also the back ramp. Now, I will admit, flying, the detail inside is actually really good. Now, I would love to see in a future update, and I hope Captain Sim actually sees this. I would love to see a future update where you can actually put cargo in here. Even some model troops, like a troop as for a troop transport. I've flown in one long distance, and it was packed. You are packed in here like a sardine. There's even down the middle row. There you see the two middle columns. There are more seats that can be put in, so you can imagine how tightly packed you're in here. I have flown in also a C-130 when I was in Afghanistan, when I flew into Bagram Air Base. When I flew into Bagram Air Base, I was on a C-17. Then we had to wait a few days. I think it was more like a week or two. And then we got put on a C-130 to our actual destination where we're going to be at region-wise. And combat landings in a C-130 is like a nightmare. I've gotten air sick in this thing. I didn't puke, but I was definitely not feeling very good. Especially when you're sitting like pointing, like facing this way. You have no window that you can look. I think I was like right in this region. Yeah, you couldn't see. I didn't see anything. You're just feeling every little movement in the air, and it does not feel good. Anyways, enough of that. I just know that I have flown in one. I have first-hand experience with these. I've sat in the cockpit. The cockpit's pretty good. I like it. I'm pretty impressed. 3D model wise, it's really good. But let's go ahead and get back into the aircraft, and we're just gonna do a basic startup of everything. We're not doing a full. If I can click, and we're not doing a full. Like procedure wise, like anything. We're just doing the startup. It's fairly simple. I'm gonna shut everything up. This plane also doesn't really have the most traditional of autopilots, which I don't know if if they actually have autopilots. That's why it's modeled this way. I don't know how authentic the plane is to what the actual C-130 is like mechanically and with avionics. So let's go ahead and start her up. We're going to start her up with a battery. You have an option for the external power, like I believe it's right here, but we're not using that. We're going to go to the battery. The APU, or what resembles the APU, is right here, the gas turbine compressor. So we're going to open that up. Then scroll till you get start. I'm waiting for that light to illuminate. And then normally you would want to wait till you're on speed, and then you would flip these on, but there he is. I had to do it again. I will just go straight into it. So I will say not everything in this aircraft, like button wise, or is modeled. Like your mix, what's up there? This is your mix, right? Engine fuel enrichment, not modeled. I would say a little less than 50% of the buttons are modeled. Maybe just over 50, but it's right in that ballpark. It's not horrible, but it's not great. All right, you see, like the on speed is good. So now we would go down to hydraulics. Right here, set generator switch to on. Systems are getting power. This is your set co-pilot AC instruments on, and this is for your fuel switch on, for your dials. So here's all of your fuel gauges. This is your normal wing tanks, and then I believe these are going to be your auxiliary fuel tanks. The auxiliary fuel tanks are these pods on the wings. All right, so we have this, that. Okay, the generators. We are good to start up engine 1 now. First, you want to do this. This is your engine bleed air for engine 1 and 2, and then you have 3 and 4 on this side. You want to take this to override. And then start. And give it a moment, and the actual propeller will start spinning. There it is. Then you're going to want to come down here. Wait. Pardon me. Excuse me. You want to wait till RPMs are up when it's above 20%, which is like already above 30. You want to then come down here and put it into, take it out of I can't even see what it's called. Ground stop. You want to put it into run. All right, so we're good on that, and then you want to come up here to your pump switch position to on, and that will fade out. Here, it'll do it in a minute. Go to the override again. Start. Oh, yes. For engine 1. Engine 1. You wanted to switch your generator position. Let's check out this one. We're already there, so we can go ahead and wait for these lights to kick off. That just kicked off. There we go. We're good on that. Now we do engine 3. She's actually not a bad plane, though. I'm actually pretty impressed with her. Captain Sim, I think, is turning over a new leaf. I think he had enough backlash also from the other C-130 that he's like, I gotta do this again. Now, is it worth $40? I still think Captain Sim is putting these planes up as for a cash grab. But it's up to you if you want to get it. Now, is it fun to fly? Oh, yeah, it's fun to fly. I enjoy it. All right, let's go ahead and put it into run. I can see myself flying this quite a bit, honestly. All right. All the lights are going out. There they go. And the final one. So the engine procedure, I believe, is that you go through engines 1 through 4 on startup. There we go. Looks like everything is looking good. Forgot to turn on the anti-collision. So yeah, like not a lot of these are modeled, like your pressure, oxygen pressures. This stuff is, but then like all of this is not. It's still a pretty basic plane. But it has potential. Has a lot of potential. Like none of this is modeled. The radios down here are modeled. I don't mess with them though. That's not my area. I don't know anything about that. And plus I don't really use them. All right. Engines are started. Let's roll. Trying to see if I forgot anything. I don't believe I did. So let's go ahead and roll. Actually, no, let's flip the flaps. Let's see how fast do they. Okay, they're not ridiculously fast. All right, we're gonna leave them right there. Let's go and taxi out to the runway. We are at Joint Andrews Base. Just need brakes. See, when you give it power, it actually sounds like a C-130. I've heard many of C-130s in my time. I lived in the Mansfield, around the Mansfield area, and there was always that airlift group would always run some type of exercise flying over the city, over the area in general. But if you haven't already subscribed yet to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Planning on doing a lot of new content with Flight Sim. Working on some new cinematic videos and have some projects in the works. Also, give a thumbs up if you're enjoying this. I'm really enjoying doing these videos again. I've been in a lull, and now I'm coming out of it, and I'm back, baby. My personality is a little bit different than most YouTubers that are in Flight Sim. But I do enjoy this sim. I have so many planes. I'm actually shocked at how many planes I've actually bought over the years since playing this. I didn't realize how many I would acquire. It's awesome. I really enjoy it. And I'm glad Captain Sim actually decided to do the C-130 again. I've been waiting for a decent C-130. I wasn't ever going to touch that external model one. It was just I wanted to be able to fly something, not in just exterior mode the entire time. But it also helps that I have first-hand experience on flying inside one of these things. It is a it helps. when it comes to understanding the planes. She's a pretty good looking plane though. I feel like they put a little bit more TLC. Captain Sim put a little bit more TLC in this than the Vertavia, I forgot how you pronounce them, B1 bomber. But the B1 is still fun to fly. If you haven't checked out that video yet, I do have that one up. It's a decent plane. Decent keyword. Alright. The brakes on. Checking the flight. All right, should be good. Let's give her full power. Ooh, I do like that sound. It's not exactly a distinct C-130 sound, but it's close. Controlling rudder on ground is actually pretty good. Got positive climber. Gears up. Flaps retracting. Yeah, I like her. She flies good. Passing above 2,000 feet. So if we come down here and if we hit this button right here, she'll level off. She'll stay at this altitude. She should start leveling off. Unless that's, you know what, hold on. Let's level her off. Right there. Here's your barometric pressure you can do, your altimeter calibration. And then over here, I believe this is where you would hold your course. Yeah. This flips everything right here. This is set position switch. Engaged. Yep, right there. You see where it's holding. Whoops, we were gaining speed too much. Yep, overspeed. So that's a generic sound I haven't heard. I wouldn't have thought of here on here. Let's go ahead and bring her up a little bit, flatten her out. So it's in conjunction of what your altitude, like if you're pointing higher up, you hit this, it's going to continue to level off or continue in that upward trajectory. I'm learning that just now. Set mode, switch heading. Okay, this is going off VOR and ILS. This is going off of what your heading actually is. And if you actually take the, that's your heading change. Is it actually going to change? It's not. Okay. Still learning all of this. This plane's pretty new. It is actually kind of slow. Okay. So yeah, the autopilot or whatever you want to call it is kind of wonky. For basic, if you're holding your course, it's fine. I was trying to mess with it earlier and I couldn't get really to do what I was wanting it to do. It's actually doing better than I expected now. But yeah. She's a beautiful plane. She's a lot better than I expected, honestly. You have your co-pilot and everything back here. Yeah, the co-pilot's over there. This is your jump seat, and it looks like there's a bed back there. Yeah, that is a bed. They have 2 bunks. So these planes, these C-130s, they're designed to stay in the air for quite a while. So there are many, many, many variants of C-130s. So this one here, the I don't know what variant this is. I didn't see if this was based off any variant, but there are many different configurations. This is designed. The primary function of the C-130 is to be a global airlift, and you have, the engine options are anything from 4 Allison T56-A-7 turboprops, which put out 4,200 prop shaft horsepower, or 4 Allison Allison T56-A-15 turboprops that they push nearly 4,600 prop shaft horsepower. Then you have another variant which has the four Rolls-Royce AE 2100 D3 turboprops. Those push 4,700 horsepower. And the cargo, like I said, they can hold anything from Humvees, troops. There's even a C-130 that's the AC-130 variant, which is a gunship. You're basically talking about a side of the plane that has a bunch of cannons. It's an amazing plane. It's been around since the 70s. I believe it was the 70s. No, 50s. My bad. This plane's been around, has been in design. It was in design in the early 50s. It was released in the late 50s. And they still use them very heavily these days. It's not a bad plane. Put the flag out while it's flying. Actually, I'm kind of curious, and this is non-realistic. Escape hatch. Yes, it does open right there. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was modeled to actually open from, you see it from the inside. Yeah. What is this? Oh, you can adjust the lighting inside. That's something I did not see. There are some subtle little differences. Right here, you can adjust lighting back here even. Oh, yep, you can actually move the curtain out of the way. All right, there's some new things I didn't even know about. Unfortunately, these dials are not, they don't look to be functional. But at least Captain Sim put a lot of effort in this plane. I can see that he actually put some quality time. So I think so if I had to give him an overall rating on this plane, I would give him a solid 7. Now he would get an 8 or 9 if every single function worked on this thing, and this thing actually had like a way of putting a flight plan in. Click that to take the yoke away. But yeah, it's not a bad plane. Wouldn't want to do that in actual flight. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really do. I like this plane. I would love to see more liveries. If anyone makes liveries, please make some more of this. Make one of the Mansfield Air National Guard, Mansfield, Ohio area. That would be awesome to have one from my own area. I can fly. I can represent them. But yeah, hope everyone enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Later.